From WLWT, this is Issues.
Hello, welcome to Issues. I'm Jan-Michele Lemon Kearney of SESH Communications in the Cincinnati Herald. As always, we have a lot of great people on the show today. A little later, we're going to let you talk to Kuhns. You guys know Christy. She represented the state of Ohio. She's now vice president at UC Health, and she has a lot to talk about. Michael Bobo will be here to interview her. We're also going to talk to some folks from the Collective Empowerment Group. They are making economics happen in Cincinnati with businesses, and so we want to make sure you come to their gala. We're going to talk all about that. First, let's talk about food deserts. Food deserts. 23.5 million people live in food deserts. Half of them are low-income people, and so there's an exhibit and some information. So we want to introduce you to Patricia Van Skaik from the Lloyd Library now, and we're going to tell people where the Lloyd Library is and what it does, because I don't think people know, so we want to really get the word out. And Dom Peebles, who's head of Brick Gardens, and you are going to be the keynote speaker May 9th, and you're going to talk about food deserts and how gardens are a solution to that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So welcome, Dom. Welcome,
Thank you.
Pat. Thank you for coming. So you know what? I'm going to start with Dom because I want you to tell us about Brick Gardens.
Great. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for being
Brick
here.
Gardens is a indoor hydroponic farming model.
Okay, break that down into English.
So basically what that is you have a vertical tower that you put up, or a shelf, and you set the tower up to have grow trays on them, and on the bottom there's a water reservoir that feeds the plants.
So you don't need a lot of space.
You don't need a lot of space. I mean, one of the systems that we've built can go on the corner of your kitchen or in your garage or basement, in your laundry room. So, you know, whatever place in your home suits you. But on a bigger scale of growth, then we have bigger shelving systems that can grow a lot more. And the idea was to extend the community garden growing season, because Cincinnati has a great community garden situation going on in Cincinnati, but I was just looking at it as a way to extend the growing season. And one thing that Cincinnati has, as well as gardens, is empty building space. So thinking of repurposing that empty building space to grow that produce even in the winter season.
That's fantastic.
And use that as an educational resource or physically feeding people.
That's fantastic.
In that way.
And I think, you know, I think sometimes people don't realize, but we're starting to, that fresh produce is really important to our diet. When we go to a lot of these little corner stores and we're in neighborhoods, you know, like mine is Avondale, a big food desert. You go and the food is processed, so there's like a lot of sugar, a lot of sodium.
Yes.
I mean, it's just awful for your diet. I mean, there are tons of fast food places all around, but if you want to go buy a tomato or some apples and you don't have a car, I mean, it's really tough. So, you know, I love this idea that we can, you know, we can solve some of this with growing our own food, and we don't need a farm in the backyard to do it, because most of us don't have a lot of land.
Right,
Yeah.
and you think about the choices that people have to make, given that they don't have a vehicle and they want to choose to eat healthy, but have to determine whether or not that trip for healthy produce is going to take 3 hours of their day, possibly using public transportation, right? So even looking at it on a very small scale, teaching people how to use these systems and grow in their own house. I mean, if you can provide your family with the very simple thing, maybe a salad every night with your dinner, right? That saves you money on the back end, that you're not going to the grocery store and spending $4 on a bag of salad, right? So
it's cost effective too.
Cost effective. Not only that, but it's environmentally friendly. I mean, growing the way we grow, we're using 90% less water than your traditional farmer, right? We're recycling the water with the nutrients in it. So that's very helpful. We're not using soil at all. So at that point, you're really putting a much smaller footprint on the environment.
Wow.
When you think about growing that locally, repurposing these buildings, now you're cutting down on carbon emissions, because if this salad or these vegetables are only going a couple blocks versus a couple of hours, think about how that helps the environment.
Right.
Right?
Oh, it's a win-win all the way around.
Absolutely.
So I love the fact that you're bringing this exhibit to the Lloyd Library, which I said when I was growing up, I thought it was a law library. It's right there next to City Hall. Tell us about this.
Sure. It's on Court and Plum Street, and it was founded in the 1880s. We have a new building, new 1970-ish building, but it was founded in the 1880s by 3 pharmacists, the Lloyd brothers. Wow. And they were an interesting brand of pharmacists. They were known in the field as eclectic medicine, and basically we would describe that today as natural medicine or plant-based medicine. And over the 100+ years, we've grown into a collection that has basically anything you would want to know about plants.
This is great. Well, now tell us about this exhibit, Garden to Table.
Sure.
We just have a few minutes left, and so, you know, when is it? Where is it? Should we just tell them now that your talk is already sold out, Dom, on May 9th? But, you know, you're going to come back. But, Pat, go ahead. And there's some pictures up here that are we're showing different things.
So our exhibition actually covers 400 years of food gardening.
Wow.
And, you know, from early container gardens all the way through to the present. We're having this event, and you showed a picture a second ago about that, called Gardeners Who Inspire. And basically we are asking the community to take pictures, phone, print, send them to us, email, Instagram, and then come to a celebration to share the work on June 1.
On June 1, okay,
Yeah.
Great. So the Garden to Table exhibit is going on through July 13th.
Right.
It's at the Lloyd Library and Museum, 917 Plum Street. And Pat, do you want to give that information for more, give that number for more information?
Sure. If you'd like more information, call 513-721-3707.
And I just want to let people know that we're going to have contact information for both of you on WLWT.com, because you definitely want to hear more about how to do these hydroponic gardens. Did I say it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ooh, all right. All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Stick with us. Michael will be here to talk to Christy Kuhns.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Bobo. Right now, I am here with Miss Christy Kuhns, who is the Vice President of Community Relations at UC Health. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, I heard that you used to be a state representative.
That is correct.
So tell us a little bit about how you went from being state representative to being Community Relations VP.
So before becoming a state representative and representing the 32nd District here in Ohio, I was always involved in the community in several community-based organizations. I served on Avondale Community Council for over 10 years and helped start the CDC in the neighborhood. Wow. Was chair of the board of the African American Chamber of Commerce and served on the City Planning Commission. And so it was very community through and through. And when representing the 32nd District in Columbus, I realized that a role like the one at UC Health is one where you can have a more immediate impact. And so we used to work with community organizations and major institutions like UC Health when I was on the other side working in the neighborhood. And so I felt that having that perspective would make me much more able to meet the needs and understand where the community was coming from.
That's amazing. And the key that you said was engage more with the community.
Absolutely.
Tell us some ways how UC Health is able to engage with the community now.
Well, the first thing that we do is make sure that the community is telling us what it needs. So we're not arrogant about our approach where we just go out and say, hey, it'd be great if we did this or we did that, because the community may say, that's not what we want. You know, that may be something that's nice for you to do, but it's not our needs. And so I think that we've tried to do a good job of listening. Of course, We're not perfect, but in my role, I've tried to do a good job of listening to the community, and we have a community advisory committee that's chaired by our CEO and our COO of the system, and community leaders from different organizations and neighborhoods in which we have facilities where they come together and have very intimate conversations about how we can be a good partner.
So what are some of the neighborhoods that you have facilities in?
Sure. So our main campus is in Avondale, Clifton, Coreyville, Walnut Hills is within that area, and so we deal with those areas quite frequently. We have a facility in East Walnut Hills. Our Drake Center is in Carthage and Hartwell, and then we have Westchester Hospital in
Which
Butler
I love,
County.
by the way. I just want to.
You love all of them,
I
right?
love all of them, but
okay.
my favorite is Westchester.
Well, that's great.
It's close to my house. That's why.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank
It's
you
good
for
that
being a
you're-
supporter.
It is. It's really nice that you are able to go to the community. Are there any specific programs that you've created recently that helped out the community in any specific area?
Well, we recently just wrapped up our spring break program with Hughes High School, which is really exciting. It's our third year where we've had the Bioscience and Health Pathways program at Hughes come on campus for 2 weeks at UC Health. And they went to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, UCMC, they went to Drake, they went to Westchester Hospital, they dealt with our physicians and some of our clinicians in our ambulatory services, and had the full exposure not just to clinical care, but what it's like to work in an administrative role at UC Health. And so it was fantastic, and I always enjoy learning more about the kids that come through the program, and it was absolutely amazing.
I think that's really nice that they're able to get a full experience, because a lot of people see the doctors, the nurses, but they forget that there's administrative workers that make the hospital run.
Absolutely. So they hear from HR, they hear from legal, community relations, government relations. So we try to expose them to all the different facets, finance, how we get paid.
That's important.
So we make sure that they are exposed to all the different ways that you can be in healthcare. And because they've already shown that interest by being in that pathway at Hughes, they are really, really engaged, and it's been fantastic.
I think that's amazing. There's one more thing. You are going to be the keynote speaker at the Nefertiti Awards.
Yes, I am so excited and nervous at the same time.
You
It
speak
is
very good.
Well, thank you. But I think it's a great opportunity to celebrate some amazing women. And I'm here today because of amazing women, my mom and aunts and others, and people in the community that have lifted me up. So I'm honored to have an opportunity to speak to that crowd and celebrate some of Cincinnati's finest women.
Yeah, I think that we should mention that the Nefertiti Awards is honoring extraordinary women who have had a positive impact on the community.
Absolutely.
Which I think you're one of. That's why you're the keynote.
Well, I am the keynote. We'll leave it at that. But to even say that I come close to some of the women that have been honored with the Nefertiti Award is something that is very endearing to me.
Well, let's let everybody know the Nefertiti Awards, when it'll be. It's coming up soon.
Yes, so Saturday, June 2nd from 11 to 2 in the Cincinnati Music Hall Ballroom, which is located at 1241 Elm Street, right across from Washington Park. The tickets are $20 per person, and for more information, you can call 513-961-3331 and dial extension 600.
Okay, let's give everyone the number one more time.
The number is 513-961-3331, extension 600.
I believe that everyone should get a ticket to go to the Nefertiti Awards.
Everyone.
You're going to be speaking.
Yes, everyone and their mama should get a ticket.
Everyone and
Everybody and their
We
mama.
got to make sure that everyone comes. Bring your mom and your dad. Just bring
Exactly,
everybody with you. I thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It was interesting to hear about what UC Health is doing, and we'll find out more information from you for more events. You got to come back on the show and tell us more.
I would love to. Thank you so much.
Now, one more thing is, when we come to the Nefertiti Awards, do you know your topic?
Not yet. So I've been going back and forth with different things, and so it will be entertaining, I promise.
I believe it will be. Thank you so much for being with us today.
All right, thank
We'll
you.
be right back with Jan-Michele Lemon Kearney.
I'm so excited to talk to Jackie Moore, who is Executive Director of the Collective Empowerment Group, and Eugene Ellington, who is Chairman of the Board. Thank you so much for coming. You know, a lot of people know about the Collective Empowerment Group because, I mean, this is a group of ministers and business people and coming together to really make an economic impact, a positive economic impact in Cincinnati. And we're so excited. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of Collective Empowerment Group?
The Collective Empowerment Group began
Let me start by saying welcome. Did I even say welcome? Welcome, both of you. Okay, all right.
You're welcome. Come talk to you, Jan.
Okay, thank you.
The CEG is a national organization. There are 6 chapters across the country, and began about 22 years ago in Prince George County, Maryland.
Wow.
And the original mission of the organization was to change the banking relationships with churches and financial institutions. And it was originally called the CBG, the Collective Banking Group. And so that sort of transformed into the Collective Empowerment Group, where in Prince George County, a few churches got together, and it was so impactful in changing the relationships, the lending practices with churches. It started with like 8 churches. It grew to 125 churches within the first year.
That's fantastic.
We began the local chapter here in 2010. And in 2010, after the 2008 financial crisis, changing banking relationships was going to be some heavy lifting. And so in the interim, we've never changed our mission, but in the interim, we created what we've called our strategic partner program. And through that program, we vet companies that will provide for our members quality and ethical goods and services. And over the last 5 years, we spend over $1 million a year with those businesses.
That's fantastic. It's such a powerful group of churches and businesses coming together.
Yes.
You've got the meetings, and there's always interesting information there. We always learn a lot. The banking relationship is so key. And so I know the Cincinnati Herald is just so happy to be a member of the Collective Empowerment Group. It's a really phenomenal group. So let's talk about the gala, Jackie, because that is going to be great. Tell us. And I see Roland Martin is coming.
Oh, yeah. We've got our gala coming up Friday, May the 18th, at Duke Energy Center. We are really excited to have Roland Martin as our keynote speaker.
He's great.
Oh, he's going to be wonderful. You know, Roland has been out there, talking the talk, walking the walk.
Right.
And he's just going to echo the same things that we've been doing at the Collective Empowerment Group.
That's fantastic. Now, and I also see here there's the cast of All Hail the Queen, a tribute to Aretha Franklin.
Well, we've got some of the best singers in Cincinnati. Who's going to do a tribute to Aretha Franklin. So we've got Aretha Chapman, Teresa Terry, P. Everson Price, and we've got a woman out of Louisville by the name of Sharon. And they're going to, I can't wait. They're going to entertain the masses with this rousing, tribute to Aretha Franklin.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic. That is going to be so great. So this is going to be May 18th.
May 18th.
And we tell people how to get tickets. And
well,
all
to
that.
get tickets.
Here's Jeff has all the information.
Yes.
So, yeah. And we're going to honor businesses too. So let's talk about that. But give us the information up here for the, the who, what, when, and where. And then we're going to talk about the business awards in a second. Go ahead, Jackie.
So Friday, May 18th at Duke Energy Convention Center. It's black tie preferred. We've got valet parking for most of our guests, but we won't be able to park everybody's car.
There's lots of parking around there.
There is lots of parking
never
around.
Really a problem. Yeah.
Right. Tickets are $75 per person, and for tickets, you can call me at 513-996-3023, or you can go on our website and purchase tickets.
Okay.
It's CEGCincinnati.org.
Okay, that's easy. CEGCincinnati.org, and our audience knows we'll link them. Jeff will link them through WLWT.com. Give us your number one more time, Jackie, because some people are on the radio.
513-996-3023.
Okay, 996-3023. Okay, now the business awards. You're honoring businesses too.
Right.
Tell us about that.
We think it's important to acknowledge those businesses that have made an economic impact in the community. And so each year we select businesses that we identify as those businesses that have growth or either have given back to the community. And we're also this year recognizing innovative pastors as well.
Oh, okay.
Because we believe there is a ministry in the marketplace And so we try to carry out that philosophy by not only awarding and recognizing businesses, but recognizing those pastors that are kingdom-minded and innovative in their ministry.
I love that because, you know, churches in the Black community have always been the bedrock. I mean, for civil rights, for health care, economics. I mean, you go to your church to really move forward. And so that's always been very important. I love that the Collective Empowerment Group recognizes that and encourages that development.
Absolutely. And we just believe that it is a great partnership between businesses and churches. And so in our Strategic Partners Program, for example, we have members doing business with our partners doing business with each other, churches doing business with our partners.
It's a strong network.
It's a win-win all the way
it's
around.
A win-win. Okay, so people can find the Collective Empowerment Group through WLWT.com. Yes. We want you to be there May 18th because you don't want to miss that All Hail the Queen tribute to Aretha Franklin or Roland Martin or these great businesses. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And stick with us to Michael Bobo. We'll be here in a moment with some events. So much is going on in Cincinnati. Here's to Michael Bobo to tell you all about it.
Well, first up we have the Metro community meetings coming up, reinventing Metro conceptual plan, Monday, May 7th at Blue Ash Recreation Center, Tuesday, May 8th at Community Action Agency, Wednesday, May 9th at Nathaniel Green Lodge, and Thursday, May 10th at Oakley Recreation Center. Those have different times. You can go to the Metro Community Conceptual Plan to find out more information. Next up, we have the I've Changed stage play, Friday, May 11th at 7 p.m. at the Cincinnati Christian University, located at 2700 Glenway Avenue. The stars of that will be Yo-Yo, Leandria Johnson, David Tolliver, Joe Little, and Kelly Kells. The tickets pre-sale are $30, 2 for $50. VIP is $50 as well. And that is presented by Rojo. For more information, call 278-8066.
That sounds good.
I know, right? Next is Dance Theater of Harlem, Ooh. May 11th and 12th at 8 p.m. at the Aronoff Center, Procter & Gamble Hall. Student tickets are only $15. For more information and more ticket prices, go to Cincinnati Arts, which is 621-ARTS, that's 621-2787, or contact the Aronoff Center ticket office at 977-4157.
That's fantastic. I love Dance Theater of Harlem. I remember I used to go see ballet when I was little, and I would see like Swan Lake, and those were great. But Dance Theater of Harlem, oh my goodness, will have you on your feet. It's just, don't miss it. All right, we want you to have a great week. Stay safe and stay positive.